Amy Doe, the Keto Queen. I hope you're having a great day. It's Tuesday. We're home from work and we're getting ready for dinner. I'm melting some butter in my little skillet here. How are you guys? I'd love to know where you're watching from, and if you're brand new to the page. Guys, if you're looking for delicious, easy recipes, give me some hearts and share this video. We're making some chicken Florentine tonight, guys, and it's so easy and so good. I love to use my air fryer for meals like this, but you don't have to have an air fryer. You can use the oven if you choose. So I'm gonna go ahead and start prepping the chicken. What we're gonna do is we're gonna first air fry our chicken, and then we're going to either put it inside our Florentine sauce, or you can pour it over your chicken. Whichever way you like it best is perfectly good. But what we're going to do is start off with some crushed Parmesan. I can't talk. Crushed Parmesan or grated Parmesan. And what we're going to do is just put some of that Parmesan inside our little mixing bowl or a paper plate if you want to. And then we're seasoning that Parmesan crust with Italian seasoning. So you can use as little or as much as you want. I usually recommend about 2 teaspoons. I usually recommend about 2 teaspoons to a cup of Parmesan cheese. So I love Italian. All right, we're going to mix this up really good. Now, the thing I love about your Parmesan air fryer crust is you really can season it the way you like. So more seasoning, the better. But you can use anything. So you can use Italian, you can use oregano, you can use garlic, you can use paprika. You can make your crust flavored any way you like. But for this chicken Florentine, guys, I'm showing you how to do it and to do it right. Now, this actually is beautiful. This is actually the way I like to see it. So you take that grated Parmesan cheese and you turn it into a beautiful seasoned crust mix. Now, we've got our chicken and we already seasoned it with some salt and pepper. That's all we've done. Now, we want to take some oil. I'm going to use avocado oil. My hands are about to get dirty, so I'm going to have to wash my hands in a second. I'm going to use some avocado oil. You can use olive oil if you prefer, but we're just going to oil down the chicken. And this is going to help our crust mix actually stick so that when we air fry it, we got a really good layered crust. So we've got salt and pepper on our chicken. We're oiling it down. And you can also use an egg bath if you'd prefer. I don't like a really thick crust though, so the egg bath just makes it a little thicker. I like to use just the perfect amount of oil. All right, now we're gonna take this chicken and we're gonna dip it into our crust mix, and then we're gonna move it over to our air fryer basket, and then we're gonna get busy making our sauce. So this is chicken Florentine. If this sounds delicious, go ahead and share this video and give me some hearts. Now, if you're going to use your oven, you can totally use your oven. Just mix up your crust, put it on a baking sheet, and you're going to turn that oven on 350 and bake it until the chicken is cooked all the way through. I love the air fryer basket. I'll also have it on 350, and we're going to air fry it until it's cooked all the way through. And for this chicken that's cut pretty thin, it won't take any more than 15 minutes. So I love the air fryer basket because it cooks really pretty quickly. Oh, yeah. It cooks pretty quickly and it just crusts up so beautiful. All right, I don't have a whole lot of room for this chicken because it's a long piece of chicken breast. We're going to do the best we can to get as many pieces as we can in our air fryer basket. And if we have to cook a second batch, that'll be all right because I am cooking extra. Me and Ricky cannot sit down and eat all of this in one meal, but I'll have some leftovers because Ricky is going to be hunting this weekend. All right, I think I can get one more on there. Man. I wish I could get 2 more on there, but that ain't happening. That's all right. I can get 1 more on there, and then I'll do a second batch for the 1 piece of chicken that's left. So again, the crust mix is made with grated Parmesan cheese, some Italian seasoning. We oiled the chicken with some salt and pepper and oil, and then we've just put it over here in our air fryer basket. And we're gonna let this air fryer on 350 for about 15 to 20 minutes is all you need. Let me scoot this over here out of my way, and we're going to make our sauce. And let me wash my hands. Guys, if you're brand new to cooking low carb or you're brand new to my page, I'm glad you're here. If you're looking for easy recipes, you're in the right place. If you're just looking for something new and different, you're in the right place. So what we've done right now is we have melted our butter. I'm using about 1 tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of butter. And we're going to go ahead and cook up a little garlic. Now, I'm using fresh garlic, and I would suggest 4 to 6 cloves. If you're like me and you love garlic, you can do a little more. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. So we're gonna cook this garlic for about 60 seconds before we add our next ingredients. Look, by the time that chicken's done, our sauce is gonna be done and ready. Fast, delicious dinner. Now there is gonna be some vegetables in this sauce, but if you want a side dish, I love roasted vegetables. So tonight we're roasting up some asparagus. It's over in the oven right now. That asparagus is just washed and trimmed, and we seasoned it with salt, pepper, and avocado oil. And it's on 350, and it's gonna cook until it's tender, and we actually like the flour at the end of the asparagus to be kind of crunchy. So that's how we're cooking ours. All right, so 4 to 5 cloves of garlic. Let me rinse my hand again. I'm going to throw this away while I'm doing it. Oh, you don't want that garlic to burn, so you need to do it fairly quickly. All right, let me get a spoon here. All right, we're just gonna, let me see if you guys can even see my skillet. Can you even see my skillet? Oh, let's see here. Here we go. Can you see the skillet all right? Okay, so we're going to let this garlic cook just for a second, and then we're going to go ahead and add in our next ingredient. This is like the fastest chicken Florentine. So we've got the chicken. Ooh, that smells so good. I love garlic. It smells so good. So we're going to go ahead and add a cup and a half of chicken broth. Cup and a half of chicken broth. We're going to let it get really warm so we can add in our next ingredients. And the chicken, as it cooks in the air fryer, it's going to cook just as fast as we need it to in order to fix this sauce. So when that chicken's done, this sauce is going to be ready. And the good thing about making sauces like this is if your chicken is thick and it takes a little longer, it's okay. You can just take this right off the heat, put it right back on the heat with a little dash of chicken broth to get it loosened up again, or to get it a little thin again. Or you can add a splash of water or a splash of heavy cream. You're going to see how easy this is. So for that chicken, for you guys that just jumped on, we got some chicken breast, and we seasoned it with salt and pepper, and then we heavily drizzled it with some oil. I used avocado oil. You can use olive if you want. And then we put it into a crust mix for the air fryer. So we used a grated Parmesan cheese seasoned with Italian seasoning. That's it. Grated Parmesan, Italian. Mix it up to where it looks like a seasoned crust. All right, and then we just dip that chicken in there and put it in the air fryer on 350. We're going to cook ours for about 15 to 20 minutes because they're thin cut chicken breasts. And now we're making our sauce. So guys, as you jump on, I'd love to know where you're watching from. If you're brand new and you need some getting started tips to create a long-term successful year for 2024, put getting started in the comments so I can send you some information. And if you guys already have tried recipes here and you know they're delicious, share this video. Give me some hearts so that you can come back and find it easy. So we are making a chicken Florentine. So the chicken is in the oven right now, and we're just now starting our actual sauce. So we took a tablespoon of butter. We melted that butter and cooked up some garlic for about 60 seconds or less. You don't want your garlic to burn. You want it to smell really super yummy. I love fresh garlic. If you don't want fresh garlic, you actually at the very end of this could use garlic powder and be done. So we've got this chicken broth. We've got about 4 to 5 cloves of garlic and butter, and we just put a cup and a half of chicken broth in here, and we're getting it hot. Like you can see the steam starting to come off the skillet. We're getting it hot because the next thing we're going to do is add in some cream cheese. Now I've got my knife over here because what we're going to do is we're going to take this cream cheese and cut it into smaller hunks, anywhere from 2 to 4 ounces of cream cheese. I use Philadelphia cream cheese because I'm a snob when it comes to cream cheese. I don't care what people say. Sometimes, you know, the generic stuff just don't taste as good. Like, you know, a generic cereal don't taste as good as a regular cereal, even though I don't buy cereal. And I know Philadelphia cream cheese don't taste the same as Walmart cream cheese. So I use Philly because I love the Philadelphia. And what we're going to do is cut this into smaller pieces so that it'll melt quicker in the skillet. So let me go ahead and do that now. So we've got the 1.5 cup of chicken broth and 1 tablespoon of butter with some fresh minced garlic that was sauteed. We're adding, I'm using 3 ounces of cream cheese. We're just cutting it into smaller pieces so that it melts a little quicker. And all we're going to do is let this start melting, and then we're going to add our next ingredient. Guys, we're already almost done. Like, I love fast, delicious recipes. I was able to do a small little bit of prepping before I started this live video, and all that entailed was me washing my chicken, cutting off the nasty parts of it, and I did take some fresh spinach. Now, you can use frozen spinach if you want to, but I'm going to use fresh spinach, and I just started cutting it up to make it smaller so that it wilts better, and I like smaller pieces of spinach in my food. So we're just taking this spinach and just chopping it up into smaller little pieces. And you want to use, you know, as much as you want to, honestly. I'm using 3 to 4 cups of chopped fresh spinach, which essentially is a bag of fresh spinach. So over in your produce section, I know you guys go to the produce section where they got the bags of broccoli and the bags of spinach and the bags of cauliflower. It's essentially 1 bag of spinach. Now, if you want to use less, you can, but you definitely want some good spinach in this chicken Florentine dish. All right, let me stir this sauce up. So if you guys are new here, I'd love to know it. I'd love to know that you're new here. And I hope you guys are already finding some great things on the page. Oh, yes. So you guys can see this over here in the corner. I see you can see this. It is starting to get warm, and it's starting to simmer. And that the cream cheese is starting to melt. It's still a little chunky. That's okay. The longer it cooks, the softer it gets. We're going to go ahead now and add a cup of heavy cream. So a cup of heavy cream into the sauce. So now we've got 1 tablespoon of butter, and we sauteed some fresh garlic. I used 4 to 5 cloves. If you don't want the garlic, it's okay, but I love garlic. You can use garlic powder in the end if you want to. But we sauteed about 4 to 5 cloves of garlic and 1 tablespoon of butter. And then we added 1.5 cup of chicken broth. And we're just going to let that cook a minute. I should have let it cook for a few minutes. And then we added 3 ounces of cream cheese, cut into smaller hunks so it melts a little easier. As it starts to boil and get hot, we're now adding our heavy cream. Now, I'll tell you one thing I did forget to do. When you put that chicken broth in there, it's better to let it boil for a few minutes just to kind of reduce that chicken broth down some. It's okay. Mine's going to be perfect the way I did it. But when you go to the recipe in this post, it's actually going to tell you to cook it down to about half consistency. If you don't want to use chicken broth, you also can use a white wine. I don't really have a white wine at the house right now, so I just decided to use the chicken broth, but I have cooked it with the white wine, and it's delicious. You can use a white cooking wine if you want to, or you can just use your favorite white, semi-sweet, or dry wine. I would suggest a drier wine if you're going to use wine. All right, now we got it. Now it's starting to simmer. The heavy cream is starting to really, really melt here. And at some point when we get ready, we can let this reduce for a few minutes if we want to, or we can go ahead and add in our spinach, because the last part is the spinach. Now, I always salt and pepper my vegetables, and we're fixing to put some spinach in here. So I'm going to go ahead and add some salt and pepper to my sauce here. Oh, yeah, this is going to be delicious. I love pepper. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put this in now. I don't like mushy vegetables. That's the only thing. I like them to be just perfect, and sometimes you just don't know what that means until you start cooking it. So I'm going to give this just a second to reduce. I don't want a lot of liquid. I'd rather have a really good sauce. Now, we know the heavy cream, as it simmers, will become thick. So this is what I was saying earlier. If you're cooking your sauce and your chicken's not done yet and it's getting too thick, just pull it off the heat, or pull it off the heat, and then when you need to put it back on, just add a little splash more of the chicken broth, or even a splash of water, or just a little tiny splash of heavy cream, just to thin it back out so that it can continue to simmer and get hot again. All right, I'm just going to give this just a few minutes. I really do wish that I had looked at my recipe again and remembered to reduce that chicken broth down just a little bit more before I added it to the pot. I'm going to go ahead and keep cutting this up. Guys, I'd love to know if you have any questions. I can go back to I can go up to the top of this and look for questions if you guys have any real quick. I'm just going to add a little bit more spinach here. I love the spinach. So, I mean, to me, the more the merrier. And you can use frozen spinach if you prefer. I just really like fresh vegetables when I can get them in. All right, and let me see if you guys have any questions for me real quick while we're waiting on this sauce. Let's see. Barbecue chicken ranch burgers. Oh, I'm so glad you love them, Lisa. I love them. Cooking turkey, sausage, and cabbage. That sounds great. If you deep fry in avocado oil. I don't see why not, Nikki. I mean, if you're deep frying it in a healthy oil and you're not using a lot of white flour or something that's not really low carb, I don't think there'd be anything wrong with that. Let's look at this chicken. Holy cow, that looks amazing. Let me show you what the chicken looks like. So this chicken is delicious and it's beautiful all by itself. But what we're gonna do is either toss it into the Florentine sauce or pour the Florentine sauce right over it. But don't that look amazing? Yes, it does. You don't have to tell. You don't have to agree. I'm just telling you. It looks amazing. I know it's gonna taste amazing. All right, let me see what this is looking like. Now this is gonna thicken the longer it simmers, so you'll see there it's already starting to thicken up. So we actually can go ahead and add our spinach now if we wanted to. Now when I add my spinach, I'm really gonna cut the heat down. I'm gonna cut the heat down because the spinach does get really soft really, really fast. Like it wilts down to a really nice, beautiful spinach. Okay, so we're just gonna put that in there. I turned it all the way down. You guys know if you follow my page, it gets really super hot. So I may pull it off the heat and it keeps cooking. Do you have a crock pot meal? Danielle, I'm gonna be very honest. I am not good at a crock pot. I love to cook, but in my past, when I used to try to cook with a crock pot, I never knew when I was coming home. It's like if I cooked it on low, it was never done. And if I cooked it too high, it was way too dry. I just have never been good at a crock pot. So I don't have any crock pot recipes. I just don't know for sure if I would go with them. Hey Leah, how are you? Just had the pork chops that I did last night with steamed squash. Lori, did you love them? I love those pork chops I did last night. They're so good. Hey Maggie, how are you? I see some friends on here. Hey Patty. Thank you. I'm so glad that you love the recipes. My dad is doing great right now, Sharon. We're still praying that he'll continue to do so well, but he is doing so well right now. If we order the bundle, we'll be doing the transformation bundle as a group or on your own. And when you got your bundle ordered, you got an email that told you what Facebook page to join, so that we're doing it all together. A bunch of people are doing it together, but not on this page specifically. There's a page that you are supposed to join, and then if I can help you with that page, just send me a message so I can make sure you got it. That is true, Terry. So Terry said a friend of her told her that olive oil is actually not supposed to be made for heat. It actually is true. I actually researched that and found that out myself. That's why I decided to go with an avocado oil. Not that it's going to hurt anything, but the olive oil really loses the benefits if it's in boiling hot water. Or if it's boiling hot, like if it's at certain temperatures, it kind of loses some of the value of using it in the first place. Olive oil really was made for seasoning, like tasting, like salad dressing and things like that. So that's kind of why I changed over to avocado oil. And it's perfectly fine to use olive oil if you're already using it. You guys go right ahead. Oh, yes. Debbie's having a keto pro tonight. She's in her 60-hour reboot. That's so amazing. Hey, Felicia. Felicia wants me to do some more soups. Well, I actually wanted to do a soup Sunday. And Ricky's like, I don't want no soup. I've got a few soups on the recipe blog. Hey, Melissa. I added the heavy cream as soon as the cream cheese started to get soft and melted. That's when I added the heavy cream. One thing I didn't do when you guys were watching is I did not let the chicken broth cook down to like reduce to half. I didn't do that. So you'll see this is really soupy right now. I really probably should have done that. The recipe is in this post. You will see it in the recipe. But it's okay. It's going to be delicious. And if I really thought about it, I could have let it cook just a little bit longer to get a little thicker before I added my vegetable. But I think it's going to be delicious. Now, the longer it cooks, the more wilted the spinach is going to get, which I don't love. But the thicker the sauce will get. So you can kind of eyeball it, but it's going to be fabulous. Let's see. Do you have recipes for fish? Hey, Melody, how are you? I don't do a lot of fish on my own because I truly love fish. I love seafood. But I always, honestly, I've always used it as like a date night delicacy. Like if we don't go on date night, I normally would order either a big fat steak or salmon or grouper or sea bass. Like I love seafood. So I don't cook a lot of seafood at home. Now in the summer, we will use the grill and we'll grill catfish and things like that. But I primarily eat fish out on date night. Kay said she's keeping my dad in prayers. Thank you so much, Kay. I appreciate you so much. Hey, Deborah, how are you? Aw, that's so sweet. I appreciate that, Deborah. We can't see. The camera's too high. You see now? There you go. Thank you for telling me. All right, so let's see here. We've got our sauce. It is coming really well. It's coming out really, really well. Now, my sauce is not thickening as much as I wanted it to. I should have let it simmer just a few more minutes before I added my spinach. You also can add some more spinach. And if you want to, you actually can add a little bit of Parmesan cheese in here to thicken it up prior to just letting it continue. I only have a little bit of spinach left, and I haven't chopped it, but I'm going to go ahead and put it in. There's only a little bit left. I'm going to add that right in there. And this is going to be so yummy. If you want to, when you finish your sauce, you can pour it over your chicken, or you can stick your chicken right inside the sauce and toss it around. You also can top it off with a little fresh parsley when you put it on your plate. You can put a little fresh Parmesan on your plate if you want to. I don't normally do that. I like it just as it is, but if you want to, you certainly can. I do have one last thing that we put inside the sauce, and that's a squeeze of lemon. It is a chicken Florentine. So chicken Florentine really is named for and known for the lemon spinach sauce. So a squeeze of a lemon, you can do a full lemon or a little piece of a lemon. You can do however much lemon you want, but that lemon really makes it delicious. So I'm going to add that in just 1 second. And then let me check on my side dish real quick and see if it's even ready for me. Ooh, it's getting there. It's getting there. Our side dish is not ready yet either, so I guess I need to turn this down. All right, guys, I hope you have a fabulous night. I think I've gone through all of your questions. I hope you guys have a great evening. If I can help you with anything, make sure you reach out to me. And it's 6:13. I can't believe it. Oh, my mother-in-law is texting me. So I got to get off here and see what she needs. Guys, have a great night, and I'll see you later. Bye.